Edward Norton is here. Edward Norton, thank you so much for joining us, Ed. So I guess the first line of Jonathan Lethem's novel, which you've just made a movie about, the first line of the novel is "Context is everything." And before we're all done with this segment, the band is going to play a new ballad by Tom York called "Daily Battles" that our other guest today, Wynton Marsalis, turned into a Miles Davis-style jazz arrangement, and both are in your new film of the novel. So give us the context here. How the hell did this happen?
So I was in Greenwich Village in the mid-'90s, kicking around as an actor, and there was a guy writing books in Brooklyn that was starting to impress a lot of us named Jonathan Lethem, and a mutual friend tipped me off that he had a new book coming out called Motherless Brooklyn, and that it was about a Tourettic detective in Brooklyn who has to solve the murder of his boss and only friend. And I said, "You had me at Tourettic." So I chased him down, and I'm dating myself, but I got a copy of the book in galleys on a Xerox.
Strong.
Xerox was a technology where you could copy a book onto paper and then get it on a paper clip and you could read it by hand.
I feel like I've seen one in a museum or something, yeah.
Yeah. Long before PDFs. And I was really bought into this incredible character that Jonathan had created that let you into the inside of his talented and sensitive mind, even as you saw this chaotic condition trip him up hilariously and poignantly. And we set off on a journey to make it into a film. And for a lot of reasons, we decided to reset it in the 50s and make it not just a story of what happens to this Brooklyn detective, but what happened to Brooklyn under the dark era of an autocratic bully who was a racist and a real estate developer. Who was called Robert Moses. But by 2017, as we started to make the film, this had unusual resonance. And anyway, the film takes place in the 50s, and of course there was a lot of great jazz in the 50s, but I wanted some music that also reflected the dissonance of Lionel's sensitive mind. And if there's anyone in my generation who has captured both longing in the heart and terror and dissonance in the head, it's Tom York.
Amen.
And so I rang up, I met Tom in about 1996 when I saw them play at Irving Plaza.
Whoa.
And we've had a great conversation developing over the years. And anyway, I said, listen, I think I need like a ballad that feels like it's come out of the past. Melancholy, but maybe like Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit with a little bit of a sense of the political darkness of the times. And about 2 weeks later, in the middle of the night, he sent me this demo of a track called Daily Battles. And I was sitting on the edge of my bed on 10th Street crying in the dark on one listen. And I had also rung up a friend, Wynton Marsalis, and Wynton, who is the druid of American jazz, as you all know. He was helping me curate the great late 50s music that would be played in a club scene in the film. But we had this notion of, well, what if within the tissue of the 50s, our band plays Tom's song except in a Miles Davis-like arrangement as though it was from the era, and Wynton did that for us. And so suddenly we had an A-side, B-side that mashed up everything I love. And that's how we ended up with sort of a neo-noir Tom York, Wynton Marsalis mashup as the score of Motherless Brooklyn. So.
if you have ever wanted to see a mandolin player just quietly freaking out, look deep into your radios. I'm so excited about this. What are you sharing with us this evening?
Well, I think Jonathan's my love of the novel really just began with page 1, where Lionel introduces you to himself.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is page 1 of Motherless Brooklyn. Context is everything. Dress me up and see. I'm a carnival barker, an auctioneer, a downtown performance artist, a speaker in tongues, a senator drunk on a filibuster. I've got Tourette's. My mouth won't quit, though I mostly whisper or sub-vocalize like I'm reading aloud, my Adam's apple bobbing, jaw muscle beating like a miniature heart under my cheek, the noise suppressed, the words escaping silently, mere ghosts of themselves, husks of empty breath and tone. If I were Dick Tracy villain, I'd have to be mumbles. In this diminished form, the words rush out of the cornucopia of my brain to course over the surface of the world, tickling reality like fingers on a piano keys, caressing, nudging. They're an invisible army on a peacekeeping mission, a peaceable horde. They mean no harm. They placate, interpret, massage. Everywhere, they're smoothing down imperfections, putting hairs into place, putting ducks in a row, replacing divots, counting and polishing the silver, patting old ladies gently on the behind, eliciting a giggle, only here's the rub. When they find too much perfection, when the surface is already buff smooth, the duck's already orderly, the old lady's complacent, then my little army rebels, breaking into the stores. Reality needs a prick here and there, and the carpet needs a flaw. My words begin plucking at threads, nervously seeking purchase, a weak point, a vulnerable ear, and that's when it comes, the urge to shout in the church, the nursery, the crowded movie house. It's an itch at first, inconsequential, but that itch is soon a torrent behind a straining dam, Noah's flood. That itch is my whole life. Here it comes now, cover your ears, build an ark. Eat me, I scream.
Ed Norton, reading from Jonathan Lethem's 1999 classic crime novel, Motherless Brooklyn.